Good afternoon. It's April 22nd, 2025. And today, well, here's how it looks on the daily chart. So far, a bull bar with a bull body. So, um, starting yesterday afternoon, we broke out to the high side. Really, in the overnight, we had this strong breakout. And so I just drew this box around this area, drew a measured move up. We didn't quite get that. So, I mean, there's possibly before the buy climax, we probably hit this measured move. Yeah, so maybe the computers were looking at that. Uh, but anyway, strong bull trend early on. So let's take a look. If you come in at 5 o'clock, I'd probably look at this as the channel. And this is not a convincing bear case. So that's something you have to keep in mind. We break out of this bear channel, and it looks like it's reasonable to think we might test these highs, but then it just starts going sideways. But I think this turns out to be the support of this channel, and you get this second entry, but this looks like a bear channel, so I wouldn't quite buy it just yet. But then when you get this higher low, I think you got to buy that. Could you buy this one? I wouldn't do it. You got this bear outside bar, um, so it just seems a little risky. This one's risky. That looks like this. So it looks like we have a bull channel. So I would say that's aggressive, but you could argue that you can take it. Two-legged pullback, it bounces, not a great signal bar, and this is practically an inside bar. It ticks higher, but it closes at its open, and it closes at the close of the previous bar. Not a lot of good information there. Then we get a bounce here. That's a very strong, big bull bar. So I mean, you could think that we could be creating a buy climax, and you get this doji to follow up. So unfortunately, I mean, I really like that. I think, see, when it's a strong trend, which this is a strong trend. And how can we argue that it's a strong trend? Well, look at this body. We created a body gap. When we broke out and pulled back, we did not get a body that overlapped these bodies. And we broke out and created this strong trend. So I think it's very, very reasonable to buy with a limit order at the EMA. Um, anyway, we go to the highs, and you can see we make this like double top and two-legged correction back to the support line of the channel. Then you get a higher low. I was liking the buy right here. That looks like two measured legs back to support. And when you get this bull inside bar, I bought there, but I didn't like the doji after that. But if you just hold on, you get a nice strong bull body, and then a higher low, and it's off to the races. You get a failed second entry short right here. I think it's reasonable to buy above this if you don't get in on the limit order here, because if that fails, that's going to trap a lot of bears. And that's what happens. And then we practically went sideways, and then we hit a measured move of this sideways stuff. You got the overshoot of the channel, so you definitely want to just wait. And I think it's reasonable that people bought right here, but it's a little aggressive. We had this overshoot that usually leads to a break, and that's what happened. So I think this is a little, maybe if you scalp out with a limit order, um, but I'm going to unmark that. And then it dropped, and this is clearly a head and shoulders top. You got the head right here, left shoulder, right shoulder. This is perfect place for a reversal, and you get a very strong reversal. So, you know, up to this point, you're going long, and you're only going long. But what changed about the bias? Well, now we have this gap below the EMA here, and then you have a strong move to a new high. We get a break of that channel, move to a new high. You have the overshoot of the main channel. Now you have multiple gaps underneath the EMA. You got the right shoulder. We hit this measured move. There's just a lot of reasons to consider it. And then you get a nice reversal bar, strong bear bar, strong bear bar, strong bear bar. That's three, you could argue four strong bear bars in a row. Another strong bear bar, strong bear bar, strong bear bar. So the pause in here is a bear doji. It has a prominent tail down here. I think it's reasonable to consider going short. We close this gap. So if you see, look at these bodies here. This closes that gap, that body gap. And so when this big bull bar turned out to have stem on top, I think selling the close and putting your stop right above that bar is a very reasonable bet. Turns out to be good. You get a couple strong bear bar here. This one has a tail. This is a strong bear bar. Slight pullback. And what you like as a bear, what you like to see here is you get this. First of all, you could argue that this is still a bear channel. Second of all, you get this bull bar and then you get bad follow through. A perfect doji. Then you get a small, almost inside bar. I think this ticks higher, but a small bull bar. And then this. So you could, as a bear, you could predict that this is a trap. And look at the body gap that creates. If you look at these bodies, boom, they fail to close the body gap. And they fail to close it here. So you could enter on a limit order in here. Comes down, finds support here. You make this double bottom. You got a wedge here. So look, you got 1, 2, 3, and then you got a wedge nested inside of that. 1, 2, 3. And a double bottom. So this is a decent. I wouldn't sweat anyone for buying this. And then we find resistance though up here. Lower high. Get a nice bull bar off of this support again. Final bear bar that traps. Well, I guess this is the final bear move. But another bear bar trapping bears. Boom, boom. So you could argue to go long here. Doesn't really take you anywhere, but you could argue going long here. This is a 3-bar reversal, bear bar, doji, bull bar. I'll put that term in there in case anyone cares. 3-bar reversal. And then it was a very nice, tight bull channel. And you could buy in here, buy it. You get two bear bars, buy it, boom. One big bear bar, buy it. Until you get the break, boom. Falls out. You got this double bottom, triple bottom, whatever you want to call it here. And that's how I saw it today. So here's another look at the daily chart. Here's the weekly chart. And remember, I think that the monthly chart, the bulls, I said this yesterday, they're trying to hold above 5,300. And look where we're probably going to close today, around 5,300. So no surprise there. Hope everyone had a good day. I'll be back tomorrow.